There's a slam done on Oahu every month that gets 600 people to it. So it's an art form that really, it has the American Idol effect in that there are judges that are selected from the audience, and the poets are judged and scored. And the poet with the highest score at the end of the night wins the cash prize. And so it has the competitive aspect of it. It's very entertaining. The cash prize brings out a wide variety, like you say, of poets from all over the island, and some amazing, amazing spoken word artists. I think we finally outgrew our store. We've done them every month, and we were getting 75 people in our shop every month, and people started to say, yeah, it's a little crowded, I love your slam. But so we thought, let's take it out of the store and see what happens. So we took it to the EOW Theater in May and got over 150 people to that slam. In June, we went up to the new sushi bar in Wailuku, Unasan. Got over 100 people there, and this month we're doing it again at Unasan on the 30th of July. So we do it the last Sunday of every month, and it's just been growing and growing since we started.
30th of July, and what time does it start?
The doors open at 6:30. 7:30 is the slam, or when we get about 20 poets signed up is when we start.
And the cash prize is $100?
$100 cash prize, yeah.
$100 cash prize. The fee to enter?
$5 cover charge.
$5 cover charge, very reasonable for an evening entertainment.
Absolutely. And it is really a great evening. Everyone that leaves is, the energy, the buzz is amazing. Not
that I want to set this expectation, but one of them that I went to, there was actually a topless performance. You might not want to mention names.
Well, it is a free speech zone. We allow. There are rules to poetry slams because there is a national competition. So
what are the rules? What are the rules?
It has to be 3 minutes or less. No props, costumes, or music, and it has to be original work. And that's really it. That and no hate speech. But everything else, the gamut. But we have since clarified the rules as far as the topless action went. If it ends up in your hand, it's a prop. So as soon as you take off your shirt, it becomes a prop, and no props are allowed. So technically,
so no more topless performances.
No more topless performances. If we can.
Thing of the past.
Yeah, I guess so. But it was. She is actually Felicity. She is an amazing poet. She has won a couple of our slams, not all of them topless. But she had an issue that she really wanted to talk about and express, and that's what we're really all about. We're about free speech and free expression, and she's an amazing entertainer. She's actually done a one-woman show at our shop as well, which was very, very well attended and very popular and did very well. And that's really kind of the direction we're going with Maui Booksellers is because we're not so much a bookstore, even though we did win runner-up for best bookstore on Maui this last week with Maui
Congratulations.
Time. So yes, thank you very much. That and Maui Slam got an editor's pick for the best way to see poets fight to the death. And so yeah, we've been, and that's really how the word has spread about the bookstore and the slam, is that the people that come there really appreciate what we're doing. They love the space because it's a very comfortable space. Everybody loves the energy there, and
it is very comfortable.
And you can always have a good conversation there, or play a game of chess, or have a great cup of coffee and maybe a snack, and you'll always find interesting people there talking about subjects that are very important to Maui and the world, quite frankly. We have discussion groups that talk about peak oil. About a relocalization of the economy, about what happens to Maui when the boats stop coming. With everything that's going on today, especially in the Middle East currently, there are those that say that we're very close to $200 or $300 a barrel oil if some major event happens in the Middle East. And that means, we're talking $20 a gallon gas. So what does that mean to Maui's economy and the people of Maui of feeding themselves and, having the needs fulfilled here on Maui?
There were a couple things that you were talking about when we were talking earlier that really caught my ear. You said that from your research, Maui could be 50% on ethanol now.
Well, we did one of our groups that talks about the relocalization and peak oil. One of our members did some research about ethanol and how Brazil has really made the leap, has gone, has become energy independent as of this year, because 10 years ago plus they saw the writing on the wall and started to convert their infrastructure over to using ethanol. I believe it's 85. I'm not sure of the exact name of it, E85, but it's the highest amount of ethanol in the fuel.
So what does energy independent really mean? I mean, you're saying, so my image of Brazil being energy independent would be that they get nothing from outside.
That's correct. They don't. The importation of fossil fuels is almost down to zero as of this year.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's all done on sugarcane, which it makes the immediate crossover to Maui because we have an established agricultural industry here with that. As far as sugar goes, it's all coming from elsewhere, and the last sugar mill working is here on Maui. So, and based upon the amount of sugar that's already grown here, without planting any more sugar, if there was an infrastructure to transform that sugarcane into ethanol, it would provide 50% of the amount of fuel that's used currently today on Maui.
Currently, so we could ostensibly, even starting very soon, we could have, say, 50% ethanol fuel.
It would take an investment in infrastructure to create the refining capability, the creation to create the ethanol. But Brazil did it, and the car companies were more than happy to sell them the cars that would use the fuel.
So you have to, you do have to modify the cars.
There's not much modification that's involved, but GM, Chrysler, all of the major companies are all able to do it, and the cars are all on the road down in Brazil.
I'm completely impressed by that.
It is pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, and we're a model here. I mean, even much more so than Brazil. Here we are out in the middle of the ocean. Somebody said the other night, we're a perfect environment for energy independence.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect environment for it. I mean, we've got the water power, we've got the wind power, we've got the
biofuels.
Biofuels.
Any number of different things could be used.
I think Maui would be an amazing model.
And the creative energy is here too. The creative energy and the brain power is here.
Yes.
So I think with being focused in that direction, and really that's what we're trying to do with the groups and getting these discussions happening is that so that there is a plan in place, so that when it does come down and all of a sudden things start to get a little crazy and people go, oh my God, what are we going to do? There are some people around that say, here's what we can do. It's okay. We can do this. This is what we have to do. So, and that's really what's needed in when you have big shifts in economies and things that the Industrial Revolution, the information age, is people were in place that were ready to take on the challenge and bring everybody else along.
So we do have those people. So we do have those people right here.
Absolutely.
Ready to go.
Yeah, and other people that come here all the time. The Apollo Group has come a couple of times to speak at our shop, and
the Apollo people
the Apollo Alliance is a group that's I believe Johnson & Johnson is involved, but I'm not entirely sure. There is a corporate backer, but they are all about trying to Apollo, the name Apollo being like the Apollo project during the Kennedy era, was that to take the leap and really take the next step into technology, and that's what they're trying to do is set up the infrastructures around the country to be ready for the next transition into no more fossil fuels, which is coming, and even Dick Cheney says it's coming. So, and he's an oil man.
Yeah, really.
So that is something he knows about. Yeah. he doesn't know much more about diplomacy, but oil he knows about, and he even says it's coming to an end.
Great.
So I think as long as we are becoming prepared to make the transition, it'll be okay. The transition won't be so bad. But if we're not, and we keep deluding ourselves into thinking, oh well, we're going to have oil forever, and we don't have to worry about it. And it's not even so much the car. Using oil in the cars is the worst, energy efficient way to use it. It's the most energy loss is in an internal combustion engine. So to be using our fossil fuels in that aspect is really crazy. I mean, we have other stuff we need it for, like plastics and medical, plastics and containers and or Tupperware. So there's other things those fossil fuels we're going to need for. Using them in cars is really just silly, and there's so many other ways to do it. I mean, the technology is out there. It's just a matter of getting the consumer to understand that, and then having the consumer force the companies to do that, as it happened in Brazil. Brazil said, we're not going to consume this anymore. This is what we're going to consume, and the car companies were more than glad to fill that need.